Hey there, everyone. Excuse me. You know who I am. I don't need to, you know, let anyone know. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more about the law. Now, you saw me. I still got my kippah on. You saw me with my tallit in the last video. I don't wear it all the time. It's not a requirement. So, we're gonna do this now. The law. We're gonna go back to it. The spirit of the law. Let me tell you something. We are not bound by the law. But since Yeshua, now this is going to go, and I'm going to go a little bit deeper and deeper and deeper for everyone here so you'll understand. Okay? No, we're not bound by the letter of the law anymore. Okay? The new covenant says we don't. Remember, he didn't come to abolish it, but to fulfill it. Okay? For our own fleshly self, for our carnal nature, our man nature, there is no way we're going to be able to follow the law. It's just that way. Okay? But when you become a new creation in Yeshua Mashiach, okay, you're automatically going to follow the law. Do you know why? Because you're not doing it. You are not doing it. It is the Ruach HaKodesh that lives in you. It is the Yeshua Mashiach that lives in you. It is the Yahweh Elohim, the Yahweh Adonai that lives in you that follows the law. They can't break their own law. They never will. They are not lawbreakers, okay? They will live, you live the Torah through them, or they live the Torah, they obey the Torah through you, okay? You're not doing it. Because that was the fallacy, that was the fault of the first law. No one could obey the law. That's why you had to make so many sacrifices every year. In order for the remission of sins, of violation, for the remission of the violation against Yahweh Adonai. You had to make those sacrifices. But you see, you do follow the Torah, but you don't. You see, I know a lot of people are going, huh, what do you mean? What do you mean I follow the law, but I don't follow the law? Well, here's how. When you become a follower of Yeshua Mashiach, okay, when you become sensitive to the Ruach HaKodesh, you aren't, but they are. You see, remember what I said earlier? They cannot break their own law. They cannot break their own law. You ought to listen to Michael Rood on this one, although I do know that a lot of people, this is just really advanced. Michael Rood is advanced, okay? R-O-O-D, Michael Rood. He is a Rood Awakening ministry. He's on YouTube, and you can listen to him there. But, okay? R-O-O-D, Michael Rood, okay? Now, you know what? He is so good. He is a good, phenomenal Messianic teacher, okay? So, but you don't follow the law. I don't follow the law. But Yeshua Mashiach, Yahweh Adonai, and the Ruach HaKodesh do. So I do follow the law through them. You see what I'm saying? The renewal of the covenant. Okay? And this is where circumcision comes in. This is why physical circumcision is not required. You don't have to. That's the old. We've got the new. Okay? That's where in Jeremiah he says, one day, the day is coming, the hour is approaching, where I will make a new covenant with the people of Israel and Judah. Okay? The day is coming. All right. That he will make a new covenant. Well, this is it. This is it. He renewed the covenant, but he did it in another way. He gave it, in other words, he made the conditions of the covenant a little bit easier for us to follow. Okay? So no longer do we have to be physically circumcised. Why? I just said it. And if you listen, you'll understand. Okay, here you gotta open up both of these things. These things right here. You gotta open them up. Okay? You don't just open one and then you open them both so that you can hear both sides in stereo. All right? You gotta open up these so you can see. All right? When you become a follower, a true follower of Yeshua Mashiach and the Raho and Yahweh Adonai, when you become a true follower, you will be following the law, but you won't be, not yourself. The man part will not be following the law. Why? Because the man part is the flesh. And the flesh is never going to do the law. In fact, Paul said, every time I try to follow the Apostle Paul, or as some people say Saul, they still use his Hebrew name. I don't. I use his Roman name. Okay? Because he's a brand new man. Okay? Now, when the Apostle Paul says every time, he said this in Romans, he said this in Galatians, and, and even though we're not sure who actually wrote Hebrew, it's more in the style of Paul, so we attribute it to Paul. But he says, every time me, tries to follow the law, I fail. No matter how much I want to, my flesh is not going to obey the law. Well, that's human nature. But you see, here's the thing. When Yeshua was crucified and sacrificed his life on the cross, bled, died, was buried, and then 3 days later rose again in fulfillment of the scriptures, of the prophets. Okay? That is when the new covenant, the covenant was renewed. And so therefore, the circumcision, once you become a follower of Yeshua, Mashiach, and you are baptized in the Raho Kodesh, and then of course you're baptized by water. When you fulfill all of that, you are circumcised, but not physically. Your heart and your spirit. And I'm not talking your physical heart. I'm talking your spiritual heart. I'm talking your heart of hearts. Sometimes it's called in the heart of hearts, okay? Your spirit is circumcised. That's where you become a new creature, a new creation. And you know what? Hey, guess what, folks? That naturally filters in, that flows into the physical. Now, you're not going to look any different as far as physical attributes go. When I became a true follower of Yeshua Mashiach, okay, I looked the same way I did. Only thing is, I didn't have all this hair, this gray hair. That was the only difference. I didn't have all the gray hair that I have now. But the physical attributes are the same. So outward appearance, your outward physical appearance doesn't change, but your inward physical appearance, your spirit, your soul, changes. That's where you get the Yahweh, Yeshua Mashiach, and the Raho Kodesh come in. And you know what? You don't even realize that they're doing it. That's just how it's done. You don't even realize that they've done it. And one day you're like, whoa, when did this happen? Okay, praise Yahweh, it did. But still, when did it? I thought I was paying attention. And it worked. It happened when did it happen? I don't understand. Okay? And that's what happens. You see, yes. Yeah, you will follow the law without even realizing you're following the law. Why? Because Yahweh, Adonai, Yeshua Mashiach, and the Ruach HaKodesh are doing it for you. Isn't that something? For you Gentile Christians out there, I'm never going to follow the law. You are following the law. Because Yeshua Mashiach, the Ruach HaKodesh, and Yahweh Adonai live in you. And they're not going to break their own law. But you do through them. Or they do through... You see, that's what it is when you become a follower. You don't know where you end and they begin. Because you all seem to come together as one. You're one with them. So you don't know where you... So, hey, do I live it through them or do they live it through me? Don't know. I don't know where one ends and the other begins. That's what happens when you become a true believer, a true follower of Yeshua Mashiach. I'll talk to you in a bit. I've got to upload this one.